Hello SLAPAFISH community and welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So in this video I'm going to be driving the AMX ELC Bis, a tier 5 French light tank. So now the AMX ELC Bis, so why am I doing this video? Basically I 3-marked the AMX ELC Bis. In this video, in this replay, I have 2 replays for you. The first replay, I got my 3 marks. This is the game that got me my 3 marks, as you can clearly see on the gun barrel. It's 2 marks. On the very next game, it's an extra game I could show you in the AMX ELC Bis if you wanted to see it. But anyway, AMX ELC Bis. It's a tier 5 French light tank. It used to be a very, very popular tier 5 French light. It used to be a very popular light tank back in the day before the light tank update, when this tank was faster and I believe it had a better DPM. And there was a couple other things. And also when it could meet tier 8s. It was this. At tier 5 you either played this or the Chaffee. When that craze was hit, when people were picking between the 2 tanks, I always picked the Chaffee. But I always did find the Bis pretty interesting, because the Bis, even though it's a tier 5 light tank, can hit for 240 damage. And it's a pretty good sniper too. And it acts like a miniature tank destroyer that had stealth and speed and spotting and stuff like that. It's basically what it acts like. So let me just go over the stats of the tier 5 the tier 5 French light tank. So first of all, I'm going to go over the 90mm gun. Okay, first of all, there's 2 guns you can use. It's the 75mm gun that lets your turret go all the way around. You have a higher DPM on there. It's 1,466 for that DPM. But that's not the gun I'm going to be talking about. The gun I'm going to be talking about is the max upgrade, which is the 90mm. And you have a limited gun transverse to your left and right. As you can see, this is the farthest I can go right. And yeah, it's very, very little. It's a 90mm gun. It fires 4.29 rounds per minute and does 240 damage per shot. It has a terrible DPM of 1,030. Its penetration is 120 on its standard and 150 on its premium. Its highest whistle penetration is kind of good at 45. Its accuracy is 0.38 and aim time is 2.9. Okay then. So now gun depression and gun elevation. What's the gun depression of this tank? Gun depression is 5 degrees. Could definitely feel that. It kind of feels a lot. It feels less than that, but 5 degrees is okay. I mean, 5 degrees sucks anyway. It also has 13 degrees of gun elevation, which is terrible. Armor, yeah, don't think about armor, because you have no armor. You also have 320 hit points, which is very, very low. You'll see how low that is in the next game, because I meet a tier 4 light tank that has more hit points than I do. I was fighting a tier 4 light tank that had more hit points, and I was a tier 5 light tank. And as you can see, my 320 hit points gone. Not totally gone, because it's still alive, but just gone. Okay, the speed of this tank is, it goes 60 forward and 20 reverse. It has a horsepower per ton, 26.63. Its concealment while stationary and moving is 38%. Its view range is 360 and signal range is 400. And what else do I want to talk about? Shell velocity? Sure. Shell velocity is kind of good. It's 930 meters per second on its standard round, and the high explosive premium has 1,163 meters of shell velocity. So that's good. Okay, now the equipment I'm using on this tank is a gun rammer, vertical stabilizers, and camouflage. camouflage net. And the perks I'm using is swimming lessons, Deadeye, controlled impact, camouflage, green thumb, mentor, brothers in arms, 6th sense, and it's training repairs. So the reason I bought the AMX ELC Bis back is because I heard that the French wheeled light tanks were going to extend off this light tank. And I wanted to have enough XP on the light tank. Right now I have 300,000 XP. I think that's plenty for a tier 6 light tank. For a wheelie boy. But anyway, yeah. So, why do people like this? Well, one, it's the giant alpha gun. You have at 240. You're small, you're fast, you have great concealment, and you have okay view range. Combine all that together, it's like a Vanguard, honestly. Without the autoloader. And they would just smack a Comet for 219, which we low rolled right there, but it's okay. Basically, if you want a Vanguard but don't want to pay for a Vanguard, this is about the best tank you're gonna get for a Vanguard, because it's just basically a Vanguard without the autoloader, because it has about the same 90mm gun on the Vanguard. It's not the same gun, but it's very similar. Penetration's way off from one another, but who cares about the Vanguard right now? We're talking about the AMX ELC Bis. So, 2 ways you can actually play the AMX ELC Bis. One, as a very passive scout. Basically go sit in a bush. Wait, there's actually 3 ways you can play the AMX ELC Bis. One, you can pass a scout and just sit in a bush with binauts and camo net. It'd just be very sneaky, which you can be in this tank. Second way, play it like a tank destroyer with a 90mm. Third way is be like an active scout. Just run around, cause problems, because you're so small and you're kind of fast. And yeah, I think if you play the active scout role, I think it's better to put the 76mm on it, so you have a fully traversable turret. This, if you play the AMX ELC Bis with the 90mm, when you're active scouting, you get a sort of like joust. Like, go in full speed, put your shot in, and get out as fast as possible. That's basically how you gotta play this thing as an active scout if you're using 90mm. Right here, I'm trying to poke out and just poke these people with my 240 damage shots. And also, I'm trying to get artillery to like shoot them. So, I also looked at the mark of excellence, what you need for this tank. For the first mark, you need 664. That's very low. Second mark is 869, and third mark is 971, which is very, very low. But that's about where everything else is at tier 5, except for the bulwark, which is in the thousands. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of funny. I said GG, then immediately found a Churchill 7, and I was thinking, it's like, I could do this Call of Balance medal. Nope, that was a 1v6. That said GG, then instantly died because there was a Churchill 7. And this was the game that got me my 3 marks. Did 1,000 damage, 662 assisted. So that's basically 1,700 combined right there that went to my damage standing. Yeah, 2 times. So, next match, I have my 3 mark correction. This is the very next game. This time, we're top tier. Last game, we were bottom tier. This time, we're top tier. We'll see what we can do. I want to play a little bit more of the active scout role in this one. Like, passive scout. Try to mix it in with the passive scout and active scout. Basically, how I did the last game is just get it in the bush and try to spot as many people as I could. It really works well in steps, and when your team's actually shooting at people, that works really well. Right here, I just trying to spot up people and try to like snipe people because almost my entire team went left. And there's the M3 lead, pop the M3 lead for 240, rolled average right there. There's the M5 Stewart. Remember, that's a tier 4 light tank that has 340 or 360 hit points, and he's got a 5-shot autoloader too. And I throw handbrake and shoot him, and he rounds me. And there goes all my hit point. At least I just took out a tier 4 light tank that had more hit points than me. Yeah. Why does tier 4 light tanks have more hit points than me? No idea. No idea. So yeah, that's a thing that needs to be fixed or something like that. So that's 2 tanks dead. Well, it's 2 tier 4s dead. And there's another tier 4 that's actually kind of scary. And there's my limited gun elevation plaguing me right there. So the M3, we got the M3 League Guild. And we got the M5 Steward Guild. And there's a Turin 3 prototype. Or I think it's prototype. He's going to come and play later into this game. Remember that? He's got 335 hit points. Yeah. Okay. So right now the team's losing. We're down. We lost 5 tanks while they lost 2, and we had a hand in the death of 2 of these tanks. We even killed 1 tank, and we got the other one most of the way dead, and somebody just picked it up, and somebody just got a kill right there. But either way, so my plan right here is to like get behind the enemy and just snipe them. Help my team out. Farm some damage. Put these 240 alpha damaging blows into the back of their tanks. Because when you're in tier 5 and tier 6 and tier 4s and tier 7s, 240, especially at the lower tiers, like especially when you're top tier, 240 actually really, really hurts. And here's the artillery. It's a grill. It's 240 hit points and boom. Yeah, you can't do that with other light tanks. Only if you load high explosive. So our team has managed to tie the score back up. Then we lost M3 late. Then we lost a Sturf M43. Then we lost the grill. Well, now our team's dying. Okay, so right now I'm just trying to speed in there and just try to pick up some kill. Try to help out my remaining tanks. And they all kind of lemon trained over here, and they got themselves slaughtered. And I seen a Hetzer right here, and I was like, okay, I want to take out this Hetzer because that'd be an easy kill to pick off. And I was expecting him to be like aiming my way, but he wasn't. So now we're making our way. There's the Hetzer. I'm trying to aim in, not look at him so he won't get us targeted, but aim in without looking at him. Then as soon as I aimed in all the way, I would look at him. So that's a little nice trick. So we're back in a 1v6. It's kind of funny how the last game of this game, we're the last tank alive against 6. But guess what? I promise you, this one's going to be better than the last one. You're just going to have to wait to see how much better. Okay, so right there is a VK3001H. He's a 2-shot for me. And boom. Put 1 shot into him. Now he's a 1-shot. And the Hetzer's a 1-shot. The artillery's a 1-shot. And right here, I have a feeling that the artillery's aiming. And boom. There's already. So now I really wanted to go undetected and go and make my way all the way to the J7 line and pop over the hill and snapshot somebody. There's a T80 right there, and boom, we shut him down. So that was it. I didn't want to get spotted. I want to go down here and just try to make it to my base and surprise the person on the base. And right now, I'm trying to duck and weave these shots, and the Hetzer just tracks me right there. And I repair my tracks immediately. And guess who's here? It's that Turn 3 prototype. I think it's a prototype. With the same amount of hit points. And that shot bounced. I had to two-shot him, but it'd been nice if that shot actually penetrated him. So, that turn from earlier finished us off. So, you know what's actually funny about that turn? That he fired one shot that entire game. He did. I'll show you in a second. He did that entire game 43 damage. He did 42 damage. And that was it. Sucks. It really does. The T-34S was a one-shot. The VK-3001H was a one-shot. The Hetzer was a one-shot. The RD was a one-shot. The Turn 3 prototype was not a one-shot. It was a two-shot. That could have been a Colobanos medal right there. That could have been it. That would have been a pretty nice Colobanos right after I had 3 marks of tank. And I think that would have been pretty cool. But sadly, I had 2 opportunities to pull off the Colobanos medals, and I couldn't deliver on both occasions. The first one, I kind of made a very bad judgment call because I had a feeling the Churchill 7 was coming off that hill. I was like, I'm going to chance it. And my feeling was right, and boom, I died instantly. Then the second one, I can say I made a bad judgment call because I drove out in the middle of everything, out in the open, expecting not to get spotted, knowing they had a light tank. Yeah. Little mistakes will cost you everything. And that's it for this video. If you like this video, remember, like, comment, subscribe. I'll remember SLAPAFISH because we're always not. And peace out. See ya.